Disney are looking for their next CEO, and that begs the question, what do we actually want from Disney now? Let's get into this week in film. Bob Iger is the current CEO of Disney, and he has been for almost about 2 decades now. I believe his tenure has been from 2005 to 2020, and then there was kind of like a little short gap. I think there was a little bit of kerfuffle in the kind of handover of the next CEO, but then he took it up again in 2022. So altogether, that's about like 18, 19 years. So he's kind of been in the position for, a pretty long time, considered for that role, I believe. And I believe they have 4 internal candidates that they're considering for the next CEO position. One of them that is a kind of likely hopeful by many people, who is called Josh D'Amaro. He is the current chairperson of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. So, and I think he's not almost done that for 2 decades as well, quite a long time. So he is a kind of very likely prospect. And I believe that we're not actually going to know until next month. So that's going to be quite interesting, quite exciting to find out. Handover of a new CEO allows us to ask the question, what do we actually want from Disney now? What do we want to see from Disney moving forwards? And apart from what we all want from any kind of media and entertainment conglomerate, which is quality content and storytelling, there are a few tweets that really illustrate the range of what people are expecting in terms of the handover of a new CEO. A tweet from Hector saying, really hope this one respects animation and originality more than the last one. That's really important, because at the end of the day, we want quality content. We want a respect of the art, a respect of what Disney have been producing for over 100 years. So animation and originality really is at the core of what we would want from any kind of entertainment business. Maxell says, please don't be another guy obsessed with sequels, remakes, and streaming. And actually, this is one I can really resonate with, because I think we have too many sequels and remakes. I mean, sequels, I can deal with. There are some movies that need a sequel, in my opinion. But a remake, I feel like there are too many remakes. Some of these businesses are trying to just ride off the success of the past. Oh, this film did really well back in the day and everyone loves it, so let's just remake it again and make it more modern or contemporary. And it's like, no, there's a reason why it was people loved it back in the day, and it doesn't mean you're going to be able to replicate it in this new day. So it's almost as if when they try to swap out characters in a way, in terms of, just changing the gender or some things, and that might be controversial, but sometimes it's just not needed. It's like, keep the original, and let's just appreciate what the past was, and then be able to tell new ideas and in the current and in the future. I believe I bet there are many more people in the industry that have these brand new ideas, but yet they're not being considered because they're just thinking about what's going to make us money. Oh, this made us money in the past, so let's just do it again. And I just don't think that's strategic enough for me. Hollow Fox says, while I hope that whoever succeeds Iger hates AI and tries to reverse the irreversible damage that made everyone hate Disney to the point of nobody getting pleased. This is also a really important point, because AI has obviously infused itself in every corner of every industry. And the last thing we want is just to hear, or not even to hear, to see just an obvious AI concoction. And it kind of defeats the whole point of trying to be original and trying to respect animation and the art and what made Disney special. So this is probably quite a popular comment that most people probably resonate with. AI, we don't want to see it, or if we want to see it in low amounts, we at least make it not noticeable. I think that's what's really important, and I think as much as possible they should keep AI to a very much a minimum. Last comment is a little bit on the pessimist side, but honest all the same. I don't really care. I'm not expecting it to be anyone better. Fair enough. At the core of it all, we just want originality and quality of storytelling, and really just to go back to what makes Disney special. We have a small update on the whole Netflix Warner Bros. Acquisition saga, and apparently Netflix have bidded to an all-cash offer for Warner Brothers, and what I love is how strategic actually Netflix is really being throughout this whole acquisition. You know, they come through out of nowhere, well, to us anyway. Obviously, there's been talks for a while with Warner Brothers, but out of nowhere to say that they're acquiring Warner Brothers. And then obviously Paramount get in the mix, and they're getting a little bit aggy in terms of the, you know, they think that they've kind of been cheated in a way, and they want to see the receipts. Essentially, they want to see what this the details of the bid, the details of the deal that Netflix have with Warner Brothers. And then here come Netflix a few weeks later to say, oh, we're ready to go all cash. So this is obviously a real attempt to ice out Paramount, which, you know, you would expect. This is business all the same, and it'll be interesting to see Paramount's next move. I believe they're still suing Warner Brothers because they want to see the more details, but I don't know. I don't think Warner Brothers are going to budge. So let's see where this all cash offer goes. Let's see what Paramount does, and I'll keep you posted. Lastly, we have Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who joined Joe Rogan recently on his podcast. I only have a small comment to make on this one, not really too much commentary, but there was a comment that Matt Damon said where he iterated that nowadays on Netflix shows, you have to reiterate the plot 3 to 4 times in the script, because viewers are watching shows and films while being on their phone at home, and which is very true. A lot of people now kind of watch content in a way where they are obviously simultaneously scrolling on their phone. So in order for people to pick up what's going on, they're going to have to reiterate it at, like, you know, a few times in the plot, so that you can still keep up. This doesn't surprise me whatsoever, and it actually speaks more to why films need to stay in the cinema for longer, so that the plot, the storytelling, the filmmaking really gets appreciated. Essentially, you know, if we streamline movies to streaming too quickly, you know, not only are people not going to appreciate the art of it in the on the big screen in the cinema, but when they're watching it on TV, they're not really paying attention, or not as much as they would if they were in the cinema. So yeah, it was a really interesting comment he made, and it was something that now, like, I'm going to be looking out for more when I'm watching my shows. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. And you know, it seems like streaming platforms are actually competing with people's phones. So yeah, it kind of makes sense at the same time. It's a shame, but it makes sense. That's all I have for you for this week in film. Let me know what you think of any of the topics discussed, and please subscribe for more news. I hope to be kind of come to you up with updates of more film news and what's going on in the industry, and we will speak later.